Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. So we started out with myself and another guest on video. Then we had myself and another guest on audio, and now it's just me because we don't have a Chelsea fan to review this final game for today from our end, from our channel. Well, I mean, that's what happens with plastic fans. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But we'll get into it. We'll get into Chelsea versus Sheffield United 4-1 final score. I think the only surprise is that Sheffield United scored a goal in this game. We hadn't predicted that. We all thought Chelsea would keep their clean sheet streak going, but that has come to an end. It was a well worked goal, though. I think without being too harsh or too critical, I think it was a pretty good goal that Sheffield scored. Very well worked, and McGoldrick getting a well deserved goal for Sheffield United. But after that, I mean, that was as good as it got for Sheffield United. Once Chelsea got back in the game with Tammy Abraham, it was then just one-way traffic. I can't remember a good chance that Sheffield created in the second half at all, and I don't think they created much in the first half either. So it was pretty much one-way traffic after that first goal from Sheffield. So great win for Chelsea, and it's really it's heating up now, the race for the top four spots. And as I said, I think in some ways, you're looking at actually a title race even because to be in the top four, it's almost like you have to be a title contender at this point. When you look at it, Chelsea are now third, although they played a game more, but they are third now in the table. So and we talk about Southampton, being top, and then you've got the Southampton are top right now. That's the thing, right? Southampton are top of the table, and then you've got Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham, Arsenal, even Manchester City. You've got all these teams, and it's really really tight. It's really getting congested in terms of the contenders for the spots. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. I don't think the table is going to spread out. I probably normally you say after 10 games the table starts to spread out, but I think this might go on till even the 15th or even the 20th game before we start to see any kind of separation, if at all. But that's where we are at. A few talking points though. I think all of four of Chelsea's goals were very well worked. Very. There was a bit of element of fortune for Tammy's first goal, for Chilwell's goal, but you can't argue with the class that was shown. For that third goal, brilliant header, and then Werner just again there was a bit of luck for Werner's goal as well because it ricocheted off of Kante's foot and into his pad, but you can't argue with that finish that he put in. But after all the hype, I think Hakim Ziyech has really lived up to that billing of being a game-changing signing for Chelsea. We said it in our season preview. Everybody, the Chelsea fans, everybody was saying the player that they're most excited for is Hakim Ziyech, and I think he's living up to that billing. He's really he brings something different. He brings a different dimension to this Chelsea team that they have lacked for a while, and his deliveries are brilliant. He's so calm, so poised on the ball. He's a very unassuming player on the pitch as well. He's one of those players that you watch and he's like, well, whatever, the pass, he makes a pass and it's like, whatever, I'll try again and again. So he's very unassuming, very good. I think that's great news for Chelsea fans that he's hit the ground running almost, so to speak, and he's already delivering the goods for them now. And that bodes well for Chelsea and their aspirations for the season. Another great buy, Ben Chilwell, who a lot of us say he's probably overpriced at 50 million pounds, but and a second goal, and again, it's Sheffield, so there's not a lot of attacking threat there, but he looks okay defensively. I think he's one of those players who will grow in stature as he gets more game time, as he fits into this team. I can see him being a good cog in the wheel. And again, one of the things that's often missed out is that when you play for a big team, you don't need to defend that much. You almost need to be an offensive fullback to play in a big team. So for Chilwell to be a little bit suspect defensively, if that is the case, I don't think it's going to be a big hindrance, because as long as he's delivering going forward, then you don't really have to worry about how much he puts in defensively. Plus Chelsea have Kante now back in form, so they don't really need they already got like two defenders and Kante along with their two centre backs, so they don't really need Chilwell to be that good defensively. But another good performance from Ben Chilwell as well. Again, we talk about prices. We talk about Chelsea's transfer business. They've done some incredible, amazing business. I mean, again, Thiago Silva scoring today as well. I mean, it was only fair after Cavani has scored earlier in the game, then I think the other PSG player in the Premier League ex-PSG player in the Premier League should also score. and he scored. And again, it's just phenomenal business. I mean, a lot of people will say Chelsea made too many signings, Chelsea bought players. They now look a very complete unit. And I know it's early days, but it just looks so complete. Like it looks like Lampard has now covered every base, every deficiency. I'm struggling to see where there are holes in this team when everyone's fit. Obviously, injuries will play a part, but when everyone's fit, it's just difficult to see where exactly Chelsea are lacking at the moment. I'm sure there are upgrades out there that he can get, but at the moment, Lampard's doing a phenomenal job, and you can't say anything more. But Ben Chilwell, great. I think another note here as well is that Ben Chilwell and Reece James, they combine very well with their wingers. Whether it's Ziyech, whether that's Pulisic, whether that's Werner, they have that ability to play well with whoever they're playing with up front, and that really helps. That's really really beneficial. And I said this in the previous show. We talked about this. The teams that are doing well, invariably, all of them have very offensive fullbacks, very good offensive fullbacks, and that's something you need at this level. You need offensive fullbacks that can support uh, the attack in a positive way, and that's very necessary going forward. So kudos to Chelsea, kudos to Frank for identifying that, for fixing that, for really taking that on and succeeding in that. And of course, another good signing. So many signings. Timo Werner scored a goal today. Should have scored two, but he got one goal. And again, beautifully well taken goal, instinctive finish. And again, the importance of a clinical striker cannot be underestimated, or cannot be, you can't downplay it, because there is so much that rests on having a striker that can take one or two chances. Because there'll be games where you only get one or two chances, or three or four chances, and you need someone who's going to take one or two of those in a game. And if you have that kind of striker, it really helps. There's a place for all kinds of forwards, but I think having a clinical striker is a real boost. I think Timo Werner now is getting into his stride as well for Chelsea. He had a bit of a slow start, but he's now picking up goals, and he seems to be scoring every game, as far as I can tell. And that's always good. That's always good. So Chelsea looking good. I still think they'll finish top four comfortably. I think Chelsea. I can see Everton slipping away a little bit now. So you've really only got Leicester. If you talk about the top four spots, I think it's the five: City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, and I think Leicester probably. Maybe Southampton. I think it's still a bit early to tell, but maybe Southampton might be able to challenge depending on the schedule, depending on injuries. But I mean, realistically, I think when you talk about the six teams, I think Chelsea are well placed to finish in that top four spot. What's interesting as well, and I didn't mention this, is that there is something called the Europa Conference League starting from next season. So if you finish eighth, you could still be in Europe next season. That's going to be interesting to watch as well. If somebody wants to be finishing eighth this season or not, so we shall see how that goes. But a brilliant performance. I mean, a little bit of note on Sheffield. I think they had a good 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, but they just faded very quickly after that. I don't know whether it's lack of fitness. I don't know whether it's the fact that there's lack of cohesion because of so many injuries, but Sheffield are struggling. I think they are really struggling, and they look doomed at this point. I mean, I don't know where the inspiration is going to come from. I don't know where, the points are going to come from, where the goals are going to come from. Brewster, yet again, like every other Liverpool striker that has left them, you can see this clearly bang average at the moment. He looks bang average to me. I don't know, maybe he's still selling in, but he looks bang average. And I mean, at some point, I think at some point teams are going to say, you know what, we're not buying Liverpool strikers anymore. Well, maybe Danny Ings actually is an exception. So when Dominic Solanke didn't do so well, I mean, Jordan Ibe, I know he's not a striker, but he has not done so well. And now you got Ryan Brewster as well, who's struggling a little bit. Again, it's early days, but he's struggling. But I mean, for Sheffield, things are not looking good. Even if you assume that Fulham and West Brom have the two relegation spots locked, and that's not a given, but you'd say that those two are locked, then they're still in a fight with maybe Burnley. I really can't see, aside from Burnley, who else they can push towards that trapdoor, because West Ham seem to be doing okay, Southampton seem to be doing okay, maybe Leeds might be in trouble, but they have got that Bielsa factor, so you just don't know what will happen. Crystal Palace look okay at the moment. Newcastle look like they're doing just enough to stay afloat. So I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough thing. Once you start getting dragged into it, then it's very hard to come out of it. So Sheffield, I think after the international break, I think the next 5 games for Sheffield United are going to be really, really critical, because if they don't pick like 10 points, I think 10 points, yeah, probably 10 points or 9 points from those 5 games, I think they're going to be struggling. I think that they're really going to be in deep, deep trouble. So they've got to pick that up. Man of the match for me, I think it's obvious. It's got to be Ziyech. I think he played. It was everywhere, doing really, really well. And it's a wonderful, wonderful signing that Chelsea have got. And he was. I think he was involved. Even if he didn't score or assist all them, I think he was involved in all the goals. There was some part that he played in all of the goals, and I think that's the key that you want. You don't necessarily need your winger, your playmaker to always get goals or assists, but you want them to be involved in those offensive plays and be involved in those end products that come out. So I think he's definitely uh, on that track. And amazing, incredible performance from Hakim Ziyech, and good signing for Chelsea. Kudos to Chelsea for identifying that. So that concludes our match reaction show. It's pretty quick because it's just me talking. I know nobody wants to hear me rambling on. But just a quick update as well. We would have done this, but we didn't. But wonderful final score line now is Bayern in the Bayern Munich Dortmund game, Der Klassiker, as it's commonly known, and that has finished. It is finished just about now. So a quick update on that as well. That it finishes 3-2 to Bayern Munich. Brilliant game. Again, that one 3-2. Uh, Dortmund took the lead. Then Bayern equalized, went ahead 3-1. Leroy Sané scoring, and I think that will be something that will really give him a confidence boost, because he's been ravaged by injuries over the last so long now. So I think he'll definitely be very, very happy that he's got a goal in this game. So which turns out to be the winner, actually, because Haaland did score, but it will not count for much. So 3-2. Lewandowski had a goal ruled out for offside, and that will infuriate him a little bit. That happened. But it's never good. But he still got a goal anyway. So it's like, it's like, I think these are constants, aren't they? Haaland will score, Lewandowski will score. I think it's like almost that happens every game that these two teams play against each other or against other teams. So that was a good one for Bayern. It's looking like another league title for them. Honestly, I cannot see where the challenge is going to come from now. Leipzig have gone off the boil a little bit. Dortmund haven't been on it this season. Their performances have been patchy, and I don't know what the issue is, to be honest. I honestly do not know where it's going wrong. For me, and I'm not hearing a lot about Sancho. There was a time when every weekend you would hear Sancho's got a goal, Sancho's got an assist. We're not hearing that anymore. I don't know if he's still getting putting those numbers up, but I think his levels have dropped, and maybe it's a failed transfer to Manchester United. Because even though he's committed, even though he's professional, I think once your mindset is that you're leaving a club, to then get back into to come back from it, it's always difficult. So we'll see what happens. But just a quick update there. Bayern Munich beating Dortmund 3-2. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed all of our match reaction videos today, please do smash a like. Please do share it with your friends, family, whoever. We really appreciate that support. We want to get the word out. And also remember to please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe, bottom right corner. If you want to grow this channel to get 120 subscribers at least by the end of the week, we want to try to get that number. So please help us reach that, by telling, everybody that you know about this channel. And also, if you haven't done it, then please subscribe. But we'll be back tomorrow. We've got a few games coming up tomorrow as well. Manchester City, Liverpool, that's a big one that we've got for you. We'll be there we'll be here with the match reaction for that one. We'll probably cover a couple of other games as well. We'll do this more consistently. So please stay on the lookout for that. If you subscribe to the channel, then you get notifications about these videos as they come as well. So it's always an added benefit to signing up as well. And really appreciate that support. So help us with that. And I will bid you adieu, goodbye, namaste, whatever works for you. But we'll be back again tomorrow with a lot more reaction videos. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about our analysis, about these videos that we're doing. We'd always love to hear from you about how we're doing, about how we can improve, or what we're doing well. So keep that in mind as well. But thank you. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your day, or have a good rest of your night, depending on what time you're watching this. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.